Around 500,000 years ago, there was a person. They saw a lion and were like, I'm not sure if I can kill this lion. I have a spear and I'm quite smart, but the lion is quite strong and it has sharp claws and teeth. This person was killed by the lion as they contemplated. Another person saw a lion and they were like, oh my god, it's a fucking lion! They ran away and lived, and thus anxiety was born. You're not screwed up in the head if you have anxiety. It exists for a good reason. But now we live in a society that doesn't have lions roaming around the streets. Well, hopefully. And I don't want to be anxious about things like, will I ever find a partner? Did I choose the wrong career path? What will people think of me at this party? I don't know about trying this new hobby. What if I'm bad at it? Do my friends even like me anymore? Or are they just pretending? Disclaimer, I am not a psychologist, but just like a psychologist didn't come up with their knowledge themselves, they learnt it from other people and from books. I have also learnt a lot from psychologists, psychiatrists, people who seem to have conquered their anxiety, and for what has worked for me. My anxiety was quite annoying growing up, and then I manned up because I'm not a pussy. I was scared to talk to girls or anyone I perceived as cool. I would sometimes be too nervous to play football as a kid and I would request to stay home and not go. Or if I did go, I was too scared to give it a good shot. In primary school when we had surf lessons, I'd mainly just sit on the beach and watch, terrified of the waves. I refused to go to parties in high school by saying I was too busy. I hated the idea of getting the bus to high school and would prefer to wait longer just so my mum could come and pick me up from school. In fact, even when I got into university, before I went, my mum and I did a trial run. She came on the train with me and took the bus and did the whole route of where we needed to go and walked around the campus, which was like a 3 or 4 hour ideal, just because I did not want to do it alone for the first time. But now I feel confident to take public transport, hang out with people. I now even do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is one of the more brutal sports you could try, honestly. And overall, I never feel like anxiety is controlling me like it used to. Is there a moment in a video game that you know really well? A boss you can easily defeat since you know exactly how it works and all of its weaknesses? Well, similar to how versing a tough boss for the first time is difficult and confusing because you don't know what the heck is going on, overcoming anxiety is difficult if you don't understand what it is and how it specifically works. But once you raise awareness and understanding of anxiety, it becomes far easier to deal with. Pretty much instantly, by the way, which is very cool. Anxiety is the brain's constant abuse or looping of the ability to problem solve. I hope my boss doesn't think poorly of me for calling in sick today, is a thought that makes complete sense. But when your brain is stuck thinking constantly about these situations and how it will affect your future, this is when it becomes anxiety. Cognitive anxiety is the part of anxiety that's in our mind, in our brains. It's our fears, our insecurities. These usually come from childhood. For example, growing up, I had a kid put whiteout on me and he said, here you go, I'll give you a tan. Making fun of how pale I am. And throughout my life, I was always embarrassed of how pale my skin is and always covered up, even when going to the beach. The reason I still have this memory is because clearly my brain thought it was important for me to hold onto so that it could protect me. And my anxiety would activate and make me feel insecure if I was ever in a situation where my radiant pale skin would glow and blind the people around me. But if I had a different upbringing, like maybe in an Asian country where being as pale as possible is considered the sexy thing, I would have always felt confident. Physiologic anxiety is how anxiety physically manifests itself in our body. Adrenaline is one of the chemicals dumped into our body when we are anxious. This gives you energy immediately and also creates black and white thoughts in your mind. Usually we can think quite logically. Well, at least I can because I'm so smart. We have a solid understanding that reality has millions of different possibilities. But when we're anxious, the difference between an intellectual hypothesis and reality is blurred. And so instead of thinking, maybe this person doesn't like me, maybe they do, the thought becomes, I think this person doesn't like me. This is because if you're being chased by a tiger, it is best to act quickly and definitively. There is a tiger here, and I'm running the heck away because it is going to kill me. Is a great way to not get eaten by a tiger. Even if you only just heard some leaves in the jungle and don't realistically know if there is a tiger, and even if there is a tiger, if it's even hungry. Like, in reality, you don't know, but if you definitively think this tiger's gonna eat my ass, like, if you just definitively think this tiger is going to eat me, it's gonna cause you to act, and so you can see why that is more effective for protecting us. So hopefully you're now starting to see that anxiety isn't bad. It has been an amazing help for humans, and there has been nothing wrong with it until we started to live in a society that our brain has not caught up with. Evolution takes hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years, but technology went from the first ever pocket calculator in 1970 to electronic cybercars, social media connecting the entire world as one, Mr. Meeseeks killing Peter Griffin in Fortnite. But let's keep diving deeper, seeing anxiety for what it is so we can take complete control of this beast that plagued me for years. So, adrenaline is chemical number one. Check. Cortisol is the other main chemical released in the body, which is easiest to think of as the stress chemical. Cortisol will sacrifice your long-term health for the benefit of your short-term health. Since we have anxiety, which obviously means we are in immediate danger of some life-threatening thing like a tiger, wink wink, our body begins to break down our muscle and fat into glucose or sugar so that we have lots of energy to walk or run away from this tiger for ages. Wow, thanks buddy, that's so helpful. Oh, except in the modern day when we get anxious, we do not walk or run away. We sit down and watch bloopers from The Office or create another Skyrim character. And so all of this glucose and sugar just becomes very unhealthy for our body and eventually turns back into fat. Another physiological, I feel so smart saying that word, aspect of cortisol is that our immune system is in overdrive, ready to heal anything as quickly as possible as we are probably stressed due to being in battle with a buffalo or sprinting through the forest and getting scratched up by thorns. In reality, we are usually physically undamaged when we're anxious in the modern day, and as a result, our immune system being in overdrive actually causes harm, and it ends up attacking us while we're healthy a lot of the time. It worsens autoimmune disease, it increases inflammation, it worsens your skin, you get pimples and breakouts, your stomach can get sore. Essentially, it's like this. You've got an army, right, in your body. You've got an army and you've got it all hyped up, you've got it ready to kill the bad guys, and then you send your army into a completely peaceful area that has no bad guys. But the army people are like, yeah, let's go, I'm ready to kill, and they end up like beating up civilians. Like, that example might have made things more confusing, but that's what's happening inside your body. Last thing before we go into solutions is that anxiety often leads to avoidance. An example of me in university goes a little bit like this. Oh my god, I really need to study for this test. I'm gonna do so bad. Oh my god, I can't deal with this. I'm just gonna lie in bed all day. What? Like, I did this all the time, but it makes absolutely no sense. Well, just like everything else, this used to be extremely helpful. Pretty much everything that used to be stressful when we were like cavemen and cavewomen and cave non-binaries was dealt with by running away or avoiding the situation. Oh, there's a dangerous animal. There's a dangerous animal. I'll avoid it. Dangerous weather. Nah, I'll avoid that. Oh, there's another tribe. I am going to avoid you, you bloody weirdos. Unfortunately, nowadays, most stresses such as assignments, work, bills are much better off being confronted than avoided. And so yeah, another thing that used to work great for us is now causing us more harm than good. That's amazing. So now we have a good understanding of how this boss of anxiety works, and if you save the rest of this video to watch later and really focus on bringing awareness to what you now know, it will make a big difference, I promise you. For me, dealing with anxiety when I didn't understand it was like fighting a monster in the dark. I had absolutely no chance. In fact, I didn't really even understand that there was a monster that I needed to be aware of. But increasing my awareness just let me shed light to see what actually was going on in my brain. But how do I increase awareness, you might ask? Well, that's an amazing question. You increase your awareness by shutting up and doing nothing. Sorry, that seemed a bit rude, but it is true. I want you to close your eyes right now. Like seriously, just close your eyes and relax. What are you aware of? Try and think of 2 or 3 things you are aware of. I'll give you some time. Cool. There you go. That is how you increase your awareness. All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room. I love this quote. It's true. We are always distracting ourselves. It's probably why you are on YouTube right now. I want you to think deeper about how anxiety is the mind focused on solving problems in the future. But nah, I'm not worried about the future. I'm worried about the past. When I said to Delilah, are you dumb? And it was like a joke, and then she didn't laugh, and then it was awkward. That's me thinking about the past. Let me ask you, are you actually worried about the past? Or are you worried about how the past will now affect the future? Oh my god, next time I see Delilah, it's gonna be so awkward. What does she think of me? How has the past affected the potential future? Is still worrying about the future. So hopefully you're following along. This means that if you can live completely in the present and just exist in the current moment, anxiety literally cannot exist. And I know that is overused. Like, oh yeah, man, just live in the present, man. Be one with the nature and breathe. The time isn't even real, you know? Just, it's overused though, because it's actually true. If you don't get it, it does just sound like some absolute hippie nonsense. But if you really experience living in the present through something like meditation, or distracting yourself through a very immersive movie or video game, think about it. You're not anxious in that moment because you're fully in the present. And as long as you're fully immersed in the present, the future literally doesn't matter because the future doesn't exist. The present is the only thing that is actually existing, so why worry about anything else? Now, we'll get more into the potential traps or side effects of doing things like distracting yourself with video games a bit later. However, mindfulness is a really huge, awesome one for developing awareness in the present moment. Unfortunately for me, I have allergies and I hate doing that breathing stuff with your nose because mine is always blocked up and it just absolutely sucks and it honestly doesn't work for me that great. Hopefully, well not hopefully, but if some of you guys are in this same boat, let me recommend you sound meditation. I will link my favorite one in the description, so feel free to go down there and check it out, save it for watch later. For me, this has been the best type of meditation to bring me into the present moment, so give it a try if the mindfulness has not worked for you. Let's have a look at another solution for anxiety that will work immediately. As we talked about earlier, humans evolved so that when we are anxious or stressed, we are often wanting to run away or walk long distances to avoid a threat or maybe find an important resource like water. When we are done exercising, our body then implements the systems to reduce cortisol and stress and releases endorphins, which calm us down. Now, you may have heard of this already and been like, oh, yeah, exercise is good, but I actually hate exercise. I'm really unfit. I like to just curl up in a little ball with my Pokemon plushies and sleep away my anxiety. Well, I have great news for you because being fat and unhealthy has never been more beneficial. This is because the more exhausted you are, for example, you just have a run for 1 minute and you're completely out of breath, your burrito eating ass is just absolutely gassed, the more intense your body's attempts to then de-stress you by flooding you with those good endorphins will be. Seriously, give it a try. Write down how you feel the next time you're stressed and then just go absolutely ballistic and run around or do some star jumps or whatever it is. Just go at it 100% until you're tired. Then wait maybe 5 or 10 minutes and write down how you're feeling again. You will be amazed at how quickly this works. While we're still on the physiological side of things, deep breaths that have longer exhales than they do inhales have also been shown to immediately calm the body and reduce physical and mental effects of anxiety. Having a clear purpose is the biggest cheat code there is. Do you want to know how I really started feeling comfortable going on public transport all the time, not needing to wait for my mummy to come drive me home or drop me off at a friend's house? I started playing Smash Bros. I loved going to Smash Bros tournaments. But guess what? I did not have a car, and to get to these tournaments, I simply had to take the bus and go to the train station, take the train into the city, have a walk through the city, and then get to the tournament. And guess what? I did it despite my anxiety because I had a purpose. A purpose does not have to be some mystical thing that inspires you for the rest of your life. Like, I was put on this earth to save the human race, and so I want to study hard and learn science and work 80 hours a week so I could put humans on Mars and save us all. Nah, man, that is some Elon Musk bullshit, which is awesome. But for me, I just liked playing Super Smash Bros. And I wanted to get better, and that was enough for me. One of the coolest moments of my life was when I saw this YouTube video where a guy asked a Hadza tribe member, which is one of the few hunter-gatherer tribes left in the world. And it's like, you know, when you see these tribal people and they're always happy and you're like, how the fuck are you so happy when you're in a tribe, bro? You got spears, you're walking around like trying to find baboons to stab and kill and eat them. Like, what did we make all this society for if it has led to making people anxious and sad? And so the dude in the YouTube video, he asks the leader of this tribe, what is the meaning of life?
Manako. Yeah, Manako.
Meat. He said meat. Like, the part of our brain that looks for purpose doesn't need something that's going to change the course of human history forever. It just needs something, because that part that wants purpose in us found purpose in getting meat and providing it for the rest of our tribe. However, now we live in a society that has solved the issue of needing to get meat being your purpose. And so now it just needs literally anything else as its purpose. Once you have a purpose, you will act despite having anxiety. You will try and kill a freaking buffalo with a stick because you have the purpose of trying to get meat. You will go on the train despite being scared of getting freaking kidnapped or something because I want to play Super Smash Bros, baby.
Favor.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Wait,
No way.
Is
No
that what
way.
you do it? Dash attack. Damage off stage with a Sopo. Oh, back it. Oh, that's... Oh, oh my god! Oh, Jordan wins!
Oh my god!
Papa wins!
What have we seen? What have
Oh
we just
my
witnessed?
god! People hands in the air in the crowd.
I'm
They
weak.
don't know what
I
just
am
happened.
weak at the knees.
Oh my god, man!
And as a result, you will just do these things and your brain will slowly learn that, hey, this isn't actually that bad. We don't need to be so anxious. I'd be more than happy to go deeper into purpose or any other topic actually that I bring up in this video. So please leave a comment if you'd like that. But in the interest of keeping this video under an hour long, this, in my opinion, was the most effective part of dealing with anxiety, but also the most difficult. What kind of memories are flooding to your head when you feel anxious, when you feel insecure? This is how you find the root. Now, this is extremely difficult to do on your own, so a therapist would be amazing if you're able to go to one. But like how I described the kid putting whiteout on me being a memory that relates to how I felt embarrassed of my skin color and how that moment was likely the root of my issue, if another memory for you appears to you as you have anxious feelings, it will likely lead you to the root cause. You don't remember what the heck you're doing on a very average day when you're 10 years old. Well, maybe you do, but hopefully you don't, because otherwise this point is not going to make any sense. Your brain only has so much storage, so it only remembers stuff it perceives to be as important. especially dangerous things that you must be protected from. I remember very vividly my mum telling me to watch out for going into public toilets because people often get kidnapped in public toilets. And the same thing for going onto public transport. Be very careful, Jordan. And in fact, trying a lot of things could be quite dangerous, so you probably shouldn't do them either. And as a result, guess what? I needed my mum to come pick me up from school. Even when she herself was like, bro, are you serious? Just catch the bus home. You're 16. I believe that no human is absolutely perfect unless you take me into account. It is a ridiculous expectation to have for a that was a joke, by the way. It is a ridiculous expectation to have for a person, and as a result, no parent is perfect. And when I become a parent myself, I will also not be perfect. I had an amazing upbringing, but understandably, my mum was concerned for my well-being, my life, especially when I was a young kid, and as a result, I developed a fear to keep myself safe from potential dangers. Okay, I get it. My parents fucked me up, and it's all their fault. So now I should let them know that they ruined my life and that they should apologize, and that'll solve it. Yo, mum, fuck you for trying your best to protect me when I was a kid. Yeah, no. This is your own responsibility to overcome this. Have you ever noticed that it's often things from our childhood that affect us a lot?
It's no coincidence.
This is because when our brain is developing, we are dumb, and our brain is just trying to learn how to survive and protect us the best it can. And so as we grow up, our brain often learns certain situations that it believes it should be anxious in order to protect us. Okay, cool. So something major happened, or some constant small things happened over a long period of time in our past life, and now you fear it constantly. How the hell do we fix that? This might sound stupid, but just remember these moments. Relive them. This will process the emotion with your current brain and teach your anxious brain that it's actually all good. You have to treat yourself and the part of your brain that is anxious as two different people, in my experience. The part of your brain that saves an anxious memory also saves the age or IQ you kind of had at the time of creating that memory. And now you have to go back as an older, wiser person to let that part of your brain know that it's all okay. Now, this might be sounding like some crazy freaking voodoo magic, and it might be a bit confusing, but I promise it works. For example, I was told that as a kid, I was extremely skinny. And I was. This led to me feeling embarrassed about how skinny I was, and I began to only wear like hoodies and baggy clothes, even in hot weather. I would always tell people, I just have a fast metabolism, like it's not my fault. I was just always anxious about it, and I tried to cover up so nobody could see how skinny I was. And I began feeling insecure that girls wouldn't like me because I'm not like a macho man, and I'm just like a skinny little dweeb. But if you were to ask me today, like, what do I think about skinny people in general, with my now adult and high-functioning, extremely intelligent, able to turn the fucking earth into a computer that displays YouTube making brain, I really have never cared about if any other people I knew were skinny, and it didn't affect my thoughts on them as a person. And some of the guys that girls find super hot are skinny. Ironically, actually, when I just accepted that I am skinny and who cares, I finally felt comfortable exercising and learning about health and trying to gain weight and go to the gym and stuff because I wasn't frozen and embarrassed by my shame. So guys, I promise you this works. Go back and relive these memories. Understand that the memory itself has captured the age you were at that time and treat it as a different person. Let yourself know that it's all okay now. Process that memory and even slowly expose yourself to your anxiety triggers in a mild way with your wise and beautiful brain that has the IQ needed to turn sand into a window, and watch as the anxiety that exists with these memories slowly becomes less and less powerful. For me, this was the most surprising part of my past that shaped my anxiety, and I never would have ever guessed this on my own, I don't think. So shout out to Dr. K, the psychiatrist I learned that I had this issue from, and it was my sense of ego or identity. As a young lad, I was told, "Wow, you are so smart," because I was good at primary school. I was able to do my work fast, especially any maths related topics. I was able to do them at a very high level and was often top of the class without really putting in much effort. So maybe I actually did have a high IQ. Maybe it was because I also would go home and play a bunch of like maths video games. Either way, it's besides the point. It doesn't matter. I thought of myself as a smart boy, and as a result, my subconscious wanted to hold on to this identity of being smart. Being smart appeared to be what people liked about me, whether it be my parents or my teachers. Being smart was a good thing, I thought. But this is quite a trap. Now hear me out. If I am smart, I will continue to want to do things that make me look smart and avoid doing things that make me look dumb. Let's go over some good ways to avoid looking dumb, shall we? Let's start with not ever trying hard on any kind of work, especially schoolwork. Even when things start to get hard, like in high school or university, if I don't put in effort and still manage to just pass, I am simply a smart person who is lazy. But if I put in effort and try and do well and I don't get top of the class, then what am I? Am I dumb? Have a guess at which thing you most often look like between smart and dumb if you are trying anything you have never tried before, whether it be a new hobby or a sport or trying to learn about a new topic. Ding! Yep, that's right, you're probably gonna look dumb. So let's not do that either, shall we, little Jordan? Because I am smart, and as a result, I am not dumb. And so slowly the world around me began to close off, and I just kind of ended up chronically online, playing video games or watching videos, safe from any kind of judgment or perceived lack of intelligence, because I wanted to maintain that identity of being smart. And this wasn't in a very obvious, egotistical way that I would be able to pick up myself. I'll be honest. It's like, if you really think about it though, I could notice that I would start to get scared if I was to look dumb in front of people. Another hilarious way that this manifested itself into my own life was when I first got a debit card. I was way too frightened to attempt to use the debit card because I don't know how it works. What if it messes up when I try to use it? And so instead, I would still just use cash all the time. I would even go to an ATM and withdraw cash so that I would avoid having to use my debit card in front of another human being. And so letting go of any perceived identity you may have is extremely, extremely liberating. And there is certainly no way I would be doing something now in my life as fun as jiu-jitsu if I was still holding on to my intelligent identity. Because in jiu-jitsu, you look like an absolute fool. You're getting folded around like a little pretzel, and it also takes people on average like 10 years to get their black belt. So no way are you going to be seen as good or smart doing jiu-jitsu for a very long time. People's self-identity or egos are at an all-time high nowadays, in my opinion, thanks to social media. People are constantly comparing themselves to others. I uploaded a picture and it got 60 likes, but Leonard uploaded a picture and it got 85 likes. Shit. Leonard's so much cooler than me. Like, these types of comparative thoughts are a result of the ego. And as a result, thinking in a comparative mindset will grow this ego. As long as you continue to compare yourself to the world around you, you will feel more insecure. This is because your perception of yourself is not in your hands. It's dependent on the world around you and how many likes you are getting. And this part of your brain isn't all bad. There's part of it that's good, which we will get to in a second. But this is an impossible battle to kind of win nowadays, because let's say now I'm Leonard. I'm the guy who got 85 likes. I was looking super freaking fly in my brand new jacket, and now though I gotta keep that up because wearing brand new jackets is what people liked me for, and then I got to keep it rolling. And so even as the cooler person, I'm feeling insecure because people didn't like me, they liked what I was doing in the freaking picture. Kanye West actually has an awesome song about this very topic called All Falls Down, where he kind of talks about his own insecurities. And one of my favorite lines that doesn't have the N-word in it is, man, I promise I'm so self-conscious. That's why you always see me with at least one of my watches. And that's kind of directly sums up this whole topic fantastically. Let's be fair though, let's be honest. It is true that some people are gonna like you more if you're dressed nicely and you're wearing cool clothes. So it's not an awful thing to worry about, but it does become a problem and mentally draining if your self-worth starts to get tied up in these thoughts. In my opinion, confidence is approval that comes from the inside. If I believe I look good, that's confidence. That's it. If I allow my thoughts on if I look good to come from an outside source, that is not confidence. That is insecurity. Because even if I have a picture that gets like 400 likes, yeah, and then it goes down to 350 likes, which is still heaps, I'm probably still gonna feel insecure. Like, oh no, what happened? My likes went down. Oh no. As humans, we are not built to be judged by hundreds, if not thousands of people constantly on a daily basis, and for it to be directly so comparable with something like likes that you cannot sway in your favor. It's very obvious, like, this person is the best. They have 95 likes, you have 10. You suck. But back in the day, it was never that bad. Like, having an ego, having comparison, just let you look at the other tribes, people around you, and being like, yeah, you know what? I am messing up. I should find more berries when I'm looking for berries. I should get better. And just the statistics of nowadays is just ridiculous. Because let's say back in the day, back in tribe days, you have an opinion, yeah, that 99 out of 100 people think is an absolutely radical opinion. It's absolutely awesome. But 1 in 100 people kind of hate your opinion. You're in a tribe of 100 people. Guess what? You see 99 other people agree with you, and there's one little weirdo who's like, no, I don't think so. And if you're in a tribe of 50 people, everybody loves your opinion, statistically. Like, there's not a single person who doesn't like your opinion. Now, though, we get this same opinion that has a 1 in 100 like to dislike ratio. And I talk about it on this channel, yeah, which is seen as a small channel, 1,780 subscribers at the moment. That would be like 18 people hating on me and my opinion. 18 people against 1. Or if I see on Twitter or on X, I go on X and there is someone who has 1 million views on their post saying an opinion that I agree with. But then I look in their comments, 1 in a million means there's 1,000 people disagreeing with them. No, I can't do maths. 10,000 people disagreeing with them. Like, oh my god, what the hell is going on? This person has the same opinion as me, but 10,000 people hate it. Like, our brains are designed to focus on the negative of what others say so we can learn and grow and compare ourselves to always be better. But the statistics of social media completely overwhelm this part of our brain, in my opinion, and it's very damaging. This is why just getting off the internet and going outside and being in nature is absolutely amazing for anxiety. Why? Because a tree can't judge you. A rock doesn't care about your political opinions, and a random bird doesn't care if you're wearing that type of hat. Well, unless it's a magpie in Australia, because maybe then it'll want to attack you, but you get my point.
The magpie's just coming at me, like swooping me.
Let me talk about one more point of how anxiety is directly related to your ego or your sense of self. Extremely often, anxieties are about how will this person perceive me? What will people think of me if I wear these clothes? What will people think of me if I am bad at this task? What will people think of me if my friend is being rude? Like, you think maybe that's anxiety about your friend, but it's how will people perceive me for my friend being rude? Me. I don't walk past a man in the street who has like a t-shirt on that I wouldn't wear because it's a bit cringe and think, oh my god, I'm so anxious for this man right now. I feel my heart beating out of my chest. Oh my god, I'm in public and this man's wearing this t-shirt. If anything, honestly, it might relax me because, hey, this person is dressed worse than me. Anxiety is our brain trying to protect ourselves, and so developing confidence in yourself and reducing your sense of ego and importance in this world will tremendously help your anxiety. There are billions and billions of people in the world. Next time you're in a car, look at every single person you pass by, and I want you to realize literally none of them would care if you suddenly died of a heart attack. And if you did drop dead right now while watching this YouTube video, the people who do care about you the most will, they'll cry a bit or whatever, maybe, and then they'll still move on with their lives and be smiling and cheering at a birthday party in a few months. That's just how the world works. Now, in a weird way, hopefully that should uplift you to be whoever you want to be and do whatever you want to do. But if it has caused you to fall into a dark depression, my apologies. I hope you get over it soon. But even if you don't, I'll probably be okay with it, you know? You're not that important. One of the stupid ways that I played around with this idea of realizing that people really don't care who I am is that I would go into a drive-thru like McDonald's to order a meal, and when they would ask me what size I would want, I would not just say, I want the regular. No. I would say, can I please get the regular schmegular? Now, my anxiety would be like, oh my god, do not say that. You are so dumb. What are they going to think of you? You are so stupid. Oh my god, please don't say the regular schmegular. But I would say, oh, just the regular schmegular, thanks. And they would be like, okay, next window. Like, nobody cared. And if someone did that while I was working the drive-thru, if they said, oh, can I please have the regular schmegular? I'd probably just think, that's a bit funny and random. And then that would be it. So do whatever the hell you want, guys. Nobody cares. Unless you're Hitler. Don't go that far. My goodness gracious, you are still watching this video, you absolute legend. Please leave a comment of anything you'd want me to talk a bit about more, or if you just want me to respond to you, because I actually love reading all the comments on these videos. It feels like I'm actually making a difference and helping people out rather than slowly rotting people's brains like the rest of my content. Just like how I'm good at this game, I'm gonna win. You're gonna say my name. I am so good. I fucking suck. Let's go over a quick list of pitfalls and classic traps that I and many others probably may fall into when trying to reduce their anxiety. Feeling awful about yourself. Increasing awareness of my issues made me realize, damn, why am I so bad at this and why aren't I better yet? This can lead to shame and sadness, which will actually make your life a lot worse. And when the whole point of doing this stuff is to make your life feel better, that would be pretty stupid to do. So don't do that. Acknowledge that you were always this messed up. Now you're just aware of it and it will lead to improvement. Distractions! Like we discussed, bringing yourself to the present completely removes your ability to think about the future and have anxiety. So, what better way to do this than to drink a bunch of alcohol, take some funny pills, play some video games, check out The Hub. These make me feel so much better and I am free from my anxiety. Well, unfortunately, these usually result in the anxiety being even worse when you bounce back to reality. And any issues that you were anxiously avoiding by doing this stuff are now probably even bigger and more of an issue than they were before. Controlling everything. Anxiety exists when we don't 100% know the outcome of the future. People with anxiety would often rather know that they failed a test than be waiting for a test result to come, which realistically makes absolutely no sense. A great way to remove anxiety is then to remove all doubt, you might think. Ask everyone if what you are wearing is okay. Make sure you have rehearsed exactly what you are going to say when you talk to someone at a party. Simply don't play a sport because what if you are bad at the sport? All of these things, ironically, are teaching your brain that anxiety is important. It feeds that part of your brain that is anxious. But you might think, well, I was anxious and then I asked James if my shoes are cool and he said, yeah, those shoes are cool. And then my anxiety is gone. Poof, now I'm feeling better, right? So doesn't that help? No, it is actually feeding that part of your anxiety because that part is anxious about what other people think. And so you've just reinforced that what other people think of you is important. And so the next time you're wanting to wear something else, that anxiety has grown and needs to ask someone even more. Realizing that, yeah, maybe someone will make fun of me if I wear my shoes that are kind of old to this party, but so be it. I give up on controlling this situation, and now it is in God's hands or in the universe's hands. Is extremely liberating. Fighting anxiety with logic. Reliving the root of anxiety and processing it is great, just like we discussed earlier, but fighting the symptoms of anxiety logically will not work. Guess what your anxiety is in control of, bro? It's your brain. So how are you going to try and outsmart your own brain that is using your own IQ against you? Here is an example. Anxiety be like, oh my god, you were so awkward at the party tonight. And then you'll come in with your logic and be like, well, everyone said they enjoyed hanging out with me. And then your anxiety will be like, well, maybe they were just saying that to be nice, but secretly behind your back, they hate you. And then you'll be like, oh shit, true. There's no way for me to know that. You are right. And then anxiety will be like, yeah, see, remember, you're an awkward person. You are so awkward. Lol, lol, lol. As David Goggins says,
your mind has the ultimate tactical advantage over you.
Yes.
It knows your insecurities, knows your fears, it knows your self-doubts, it knows all those creepy spots that we want to stay clear of.
So fighting it with logic is an absolutely horrible idea. Even if you jostle it out and say logically win this one battle, guess what? You might just end up feeling bad because you're fighting against your own mind. So if you win the fight, the other part of your brain just lost the fight. So you're kind of just beating yourself and not in the fun way. It is going to be absolutely exhausting, just constantly 1v1ing your own mind. And when your anxiety roars back and out-logics you with the help of knowing all of your insecurities, then GG, anxiety wins again. Man, what a pain anxiety is. Whoever invented that, looking at you, God, you frickin' little bastard. Frickin' big bastard. Do you even exist, bastard? Whoever you are, you're a real dummy. Well, not quite, and we're going to have to learn how to live with anxiety, as I doubt it will ever leave us completely, unless you're a robot, I guess. It's about learning to live peacefully alongside anxiety, like it's just some little person in your head that's there and ready to give you advice. Let's focus on the positive, hey? And no, I'm not a real scientist, so shoutouts to Andrew Huberman for giving me this information. Mental and physical performances have all been shown to achieve the best results when a person has adrenaline pumping through their body. Adrenaline will increase your energy, your reaction time, your awareness, your strength, your focus. And adrenaline in the body is actually different to adrenaline in the mind. They're like different chemical shapes. So you can experience all these amazing physical in your body adrenaline benefits while still being relaxed and level-headed. I love learning about fighters because someone like freaking Mike Tyson, you'd think never ever felt anxious. But he actually has said many times that he was terrified of fighting his opponents. There's even video of him crying nervously before a fight, and in his autobiography, he wrote that he was worried that if he lost, nobody would ever love him.
All of this is another boxing match. You've done it already 20 times.
And here's George St. Pierre, one of the greatest UFC fighters of all time, talking about what it was like for him to fight the one time he was not nervous or anxious for a fight.
Yeah.
The stress is your friend, man. That's gonna make you react. That's gonna be on the edge.
Have you ever slept well before a fight?
Never.
Never.
Only one time.
Which fight?
When I fought
Matt
Matt Serra. And I got knocked out.
Anxiety is a tremendous motivator when an assignment gets to that final day and I've done absolutely none of it and my anxiety kicks in. I am able to just work on that thing absolutely all day like a freaking machine. If you can get anxiety to be on your own team, let me give you two examples. Both have anxiety, but one, the anxiety's on your team, the other, it's not. So like the first one, you could be like, oh no, I don't want to follow my dreams because it's probably gonna fail. And it's much safer for me to just get a job that my parents want me to work. I just won't chase my dreams and I'll work this desk job I hate forever. So going from going to, oh no, what am I gonna think if I'm an old man and I didn't even give my dreams a chance and now I'm just gonna die anyway and I'll never know the life I could have lived. You see how there's a big difference where anxiety is gonna push you in the right direction with one of those? I'm sure some of you have heard of being in the zone, in the flow state. Well, it's literally impossible to get in the zone without a little bit of stress. For me, some of the most focused, amazing moments I've ever felt mentally in my life is while I was playing a sports game and it was grand finals and I'm just locked in, ready to win. And if you've ever played a sport where you're just way better or way worse than your opponent, it kind of sucks. It kind of gets boring after a while. There's no stress. There's no excitement. And so I will leave you all with the greatest quote about fear I have ever seen in my life. From Mike Tyson's coach, Cus D'Amato, the man who turned Mike Tyson into one of the greatest boxers and sporting athletes of all time. You must understand fear so you can manipulate it. Fear is like fire. You can make it work for you. It can warm you in winter, cook your food when you're hungry, give you light when you're in dark, and produce energy. Let it go out of control and it can hurt you or even kill you. Fear is a friend of exceptional people.